Hello guys, this is Jonathan. With Off Market Ninja. This is how to use Zillow to wholesale real estate. And I would like to make sure that I make this clear. I am not affiliated with Zillow whatsoever. So it's just something I put together. What I use to find deals on Zillow. Um, Two things to note on this. The first thing is, one second. This works better with ugly houses. I know there may be some wholesalers who may be looking for pretty houses to wholesale, but this works better with your distress homes. Um, and that's why I focused on. So this works better with that. You may still be able to find some pretty houses, but this again works better with ugly houses. And the second thing, this is a way to find uh, deals to where you're direct with the seller. This is not a way to find MLS deals. Um, I have other methods for that, but this is not it. So this is found to a way to find MLS deals. I'm sorry, to find direct to seller deals only. All right. So there's some pros and some cons, obviously, to everything. So some pros to finding deals on Zillow. It's that they're already selling. I always say that when you, especially when you get started on in wholesaling, to find people that are already selling. Another thing, when you have a drought and you haven't sold anything for a few months, it's a good way to find a deal quickly. So these people are already selling. These people may not be distressed or motivated to sell. So that's a good way to find some deals quick. All right. Next thing is there's no marketing involved. So there's no marketing dollars going out, which brings me to the next one, which is free. You can do this with no money, which is great for when you're new to wholesaling, where you may not have the funds that you need to wholesale. And last but not least, you have pictures of the property, which may not sound like a big deal, but especially if you're virtually wholesaling, you have an idea of what the property actually looks like. Um, Now, some cons, some cons associated with this are you have cons with everything. Are maybe there may be other wholesalers posting these properties, posting as the owners of the properties. So these may be wholesalers looking to sell their deals. I'm going to show you how to weed them out. And the seller may want too much for the property because they're able to see this estimate. I am going to show you what that is and why that is. Um, well, then in a nutshell, when you post a property on Zillow, Zillow shows you what they think it's worth, and if you post it for anything less, the warning comes up saying, "Hey, are you sure you want to post this for this amount?" Um, it's way less than this estimate that we have on record. So they make sure that that people know what the house is. They think the house is worth. Um, so because people can't see that price, they may be asking for too much of the property, which more often than not, Zillow, it's wrong. This estimate is wrong. Now, I will say this is a way to find properties, and this estimate, I never look at this estimate, but I do look at it for some instances, which I will tell you why in a minute. So the first thing to find, go to Zillow. This is a Zillow website here. You're gonna go to location. No, these look different, but it's basically the same thing. So let's look up Fulton, which is where I'm at. Fulton. Well, actually, I'm in I'm in the east side of Atlanta, but Fulton County is a county that I'm familiar with. Um, let's see. All right, so if we look at Fulton County, all right, so this, what I just showed you right here, is actually It's actually this. So the first thing you're gonna set up is the location. And by the way, with Zillow, you can put in cities, you can put in zip codes, you can put in states, you can put in the whole country if you wanted to. You can put in counties. So whatever area you want to work in, Zillow will work. So however, you can't put two areas. Like if you want to work two counties, you have to look at those separately. That's worth noticing. So that's next. That's the first step. Now the next step. Let me minimize this right here. The next step is going to be. Oh, sorry. Next step is going to be your for sale. Okay, so we are going to look at buy owner only. We're going to only look at FSBOs, for sale by owner only. So we're going to take off all these check marks, right? All of these right here. So let's go back to the site and do that and take those off. And actually, I think I may have already taken them off because I was doing some research. Yep. So you're going to take off the buy agent because those are listed properties, new constructions. Obviously, you're not looking for new constructions. That's a different type of market. Coming soon, you're not looking for that. Auctions, there's not real ways that you can wholesale an auction. Foreclosures, if you're into foreclosures, you can look into that, but you can take those off. And foreclosed and pre-foreclosed, I usually take those off. I'm just interested in buy owner because I want to be straight to the owner. I don't want to be talking to banks, and I don't want to be talking to agents, right? So we just want to do buy owner, right? So let's go back here. All right, so the next step, I just rebuild it. So the price. So this is really your preference. The price. I usually go for less than 100,000, because in my market, that is a good wholesale deal. I have seen and have wholesale properties over 100,000. However, most, I would say about 95% of them are going to be under 100,000 in my market. That may be different in your market. So I just say that it's your preference. You just choose whatever you feel like it's appropriate here. All right. So that let me go back to my Zillow. 1 second. Where is it? There it is. All right, so that's right here. We will choose the price. I'm gonna choose under 100,000 because that makes it a good property for me, a good deal for me. I mean, you can wholesale higher price houses, but for this purposes of this demonstration, we're just gonna do 100,000. All right, so next, we are going to go into your beds and baths. Oh, excuse me, bathrooms and bedrooms. All right. So this is also your preference. This is gonna really narrow down your search. So I recommend you leave it as any. But if you're looking for specifically 3.2s, you can set it up here. Or if you're looking for a 4+ or whatever, you set it up there. For these purposes, we're gonna leave it as any. For this one, for the purposes of this video, we're gonna leave it as any. And then right here, the next step is to set up your home type. My preference is, this is your preference, but my preference is houses, as in single family homes. I have wholesale townhouses and apartments and condos and some manufactured homes. They're not really my preference. But this is your preference. So, but my personal preference is single family home. So just choose whatever you would like for this one. Which for the purposes of this, we're just gonna do houses, single family houses. All right. All right. Next is going to be more. This is where you get to really narrow down your search here. All right, it's in the more tab, right? So we're gonna pay special attention to your square footage. So if you're looking for a certain square footage, this is where you set it up. Then if you're looking for a certain year, this is where you set it up. Now this is important, the days on Zillow. Now, let's say, for example, that you're doing this every day. You're looking for these properties every day. This is where you would set it up. Let me go to the website so I can show you. This is where you set up how old the properties are, meaning how long they've been on the quote unquote market. I would say how long they've been on Zillow. So if they've been on Zillow for 6 months, for example, then that's the owner's probably motivated to sell. But either way, so if you're doing this every day, I would set it up for the new properties for the last day or so you can see the newer ones, if that makes any sense. So that's very important. That's a important important thing to look at. And then the last one is the keywords. Now this is where you would choose if you want houses with a pool or houses with a fireplace, which again, it will narrow down your search a lot. So I would just leave that blank. All right. And the next step is, now that you have, let me fix this and just make it any right here so I can give you some examples here. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do, and this is what really makes it good. And again, like I said earlier, we're looking for ugly houses. This is works better for ugly houses. I personally look for ugly houses. So for that reason, I sort low to high, low to high. All right, and I'm gonna look at the cheapest homes. Okay, so I already have these pulled up here. Well, let me look at this one, for example. That one's Lakeside. It's right here. All right, so Lakeside. Well, let me go into the next step so you can see what I look at. All right, so we're gonna again target the ugly ones. All right. These are some examples of what the ugly ones will look like. And now the next step is to study the post. You're gonna study the post. So the first thing you're gonna look at is the description of the post. So the description of the post. Now this is very important because this is where you get to see if this is a wholesaler or not. By reading this post, I can already tell this is a wholesaler. I mean, this is the giveaway, obviously. So Trey buys house. Shout out to you, Trey. This is the giveaway right here. We have a few things that kind of brings it out that it is a wholesaler. First of all, he mentions wholesalers. Second of all, contract assignment. That's language. That's a wholesaling language. Let's see. So let me go to the next slide here. So the description, you're going to look at the language of the description. Any words like any terms like cash buyer only, handyman special, ARV, or comps, or rehab. These are all terms that wholesalers or realtors are going to use. So you're going to look out for that. Now, if you are looking to JV, to do a joint venture with another wholesaler, this will be a great way to find wholesalers. But if you're looking for your own deals, then you want to stay away from the ones that that have those terms. All right, so next thing we're going to look at is the listing provided by, which all right, so the next thing we're going to look at is the listing provided by. Sometimes it says listing agent, and actually it's provided by. Sometimes it's on the bottom. Sometimes it's not. I don't know why, but that's just how it works. Let's see. Yep, there you go. Listed provided by owner. Right. So we are looking at this right here. Sometimes it's gonna have a picture next to it, or it's gonna have somebody's real estate license. Quick fact: real estate realtors have to put their license and everything that they advertise, so their license will be on here. But But if what you're looking for is a number like this, just a plain number, and that will be also right up here where it says listing agent. Let me go back up. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, listing agent. Okay, so as you can see, it has no picture. It says property owner, has just the phone number. That's what you're looking for, even though I already know this is a wholesaler. If it wasn't a wholesaler, if this language is different, then my next thing will be to look at this. But I already know it's a wholesaler. One example of one that's not a wholesaler, and going back to language, it's right here. I found this one. These are live deals, by the way, guys. So if any of you want to jump on these, go ahead, Phil. Go right ahead. These are live deals. These are actual people that are actually selling. So careful of the information and the numbers I'm giving you. All right. So if you can look at the difference between the languages on this post and then the language on this post, they're completely different. This one, I can tell this is a seller actually selling the property. So the seller is going to talk about how great the home is, and he's going to talk about the updates that he just did to the home or the neighborhood. He's not going to talk about ARV or cash buyer or cash only or handyman special or anything like that. So just looking at the language of this, it's definitely, I can tell that this is an actual seller. Not to mention, as you can see, it's just no picture. It's just a phone number right there. And let me go down to the listing provided by. See, it's just the phone number. So I can tell this is an actual seller who owns the property. Another thing, another tip that I used to do was to maybe skip trace this phone number, or do a reverse lookup on the phone number and then look up the property records and see if they match. That's a good giveaway. At least if they have the same last name, you know they are at least related to the person who owns the property. All right, so that's the next thing. You're gonna look at the language. You're gonna look at the list provided by or the listing agent. You're gonna look at that. Make sure there's no picture. Make sure there's no weird real estate license numbers. A good example of one that does have a picture. Hold on one second. I had another example here. This is a property that is a wholesaler. It's a good example of somebody that's obviously wholesaling and has a picture. I mean, owners are not gonna, once they post the property, they're not gonna take the time to put a picture on there and make it look good and professional like that. So that's definitely a wholesaler. Not to mention, actually, it probably is an agent. Not to mention the language that he uses here. It's the giveaway that is a wholesaler or an agent. So all right, let's go back and all right, so the next thing, so no picture, phone number only, some things that we talked about. All right, next thing we're gonna talk is this estimate. This is the only time I'm ever gonna tell you to look at this estimate. This estimate is no way or form comp, okay? Not at all. You don't wanna use that for an estimation of your ARV or anything, okay? But in this instance, you do wanna use it to tell how motivated the owner is. All right, so first of all, these two right here, these are letting you know if this person is a wholesaler or a actual owner. Now, once you figure that out based on these two things, now you're gonna see how, if you find an owner based on these two things, now you're gonna see how motivated this person is. So let's look at this one right here. In this one, I know it's a wholesaler, but I'm just going to use the next example. So like I mentioned before, when you post a property into Zillow, Zillow's going to tell you, hey, your property is, we have in our records, the property is worth this much. Are you sure you want to put it for this much? That is a dead giveaway that this person is motivated. If you have an owner and the estimate is this, I mean, this is what, double? Yeah, double. And the system is double of what they're asking for. That is definitely clear motivation there. So you definitely want to call that person. All right. So that's your next thing to look at. All right. Let's go back. And then the next thing is the price and tax history. There's a lot of information there. So let's go back to another post. And 1 minute. All right. So the price and tax history, I don't know if this one has much, but let's see. There you go. That's a perfect example right here. All right, great. So this one, you can tell that it was listed for sale, and then there was a price change the next day, and then 3 days after a price change, and then price change and price change and price change. This, if it wasn't a wholesaler, if I didn't know it was a wholesaler already, I would say that's clear motivation. This person is dropping the price every what? Every 2 or 3 days, right? So that's clear motivation right there. How long it's been in the market? If you see here that it's listed and then it went away and then came back, that's definitely great, because that means that either they couldn't sell it, it fell through and closing or something, or even better, if you see it that is listed here with an agent, right? You'll see it here, and then you see that it fell through, and then it got put back up as for sale by owner. That is great lead. So you want to look at that. You want to study it. You really, when you are working this, you really want to put on your detective hat and just kind of put a picture together based upon the information you have, right? So that's a great thing to look at, is this price and tax history, right? And I mean, a combination with that and skip tracing, maybe the number. This is a great tool for you to find deals, and you're able to even find out the motivation of a person before that person even before you actually get on the phone with that person, which is great, because it gives you a little better picture of who you're dealing with or what you're dealing with. All right, so the next step and the final step is to contact the lead. That's it. That's all the steps. It's very easy. I would do this every day. I would try to contact or rather get on Zillow every day and try to do the same step. And like I said before, if you're doing it every day, just set it up 1 day on Zillow for 1 day on Zillow, which is, 1 second. Let's go back to Zillow. Okay. All right. So I would set up, if you're doing that every day, and for example, if I did this yesterday, I will come back here today and set it up for properties that have just been posted today, right? So that will give me the new properties, and I will look at that every day, especially if you're new, especially if you're going through a drought where you have no deals. It's a very easy and simple way to get deals. And trust me, I have made lots and lots of money out of this, and I have closed about, I would say, a good 60% of my deals came from here. So that's it. If you have any questions, my name is Jonathan Ortega. Check me out. I have a group called on Facebook, group called Real Estate Real Estate Wholesalers, Wholesaling Real Estate. There you go. Sorry, brain fart. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I am very, very open to any questions or anything. Reach out to me on Facebook. Name of the company is Off Market Ninja. Check us out. We're coming out with something great you guys are going to enjoy. And that's it. That's all I got. So any questions, let me know. And thank you very much. Good luck out there. Good luck making deals.